Nestled amongst rolling hills beyond a babbling brook lay a village full of peace. The villagers lived quiet lives, unaware of the secret hidden just beyond their borders. For in the heart of the Whiskerwood forest, magic whispered amongst the ancient trees. It was a place untouched by time, where sunlight dappled through leaves and painted the forest floor in shimmering light. A symphony of birdsong filled the air, and the scent of pine and wildflowers hung heavy. Whiskerwood was a place where every creature, great and small, lived in harmony. The forest pulsed with a gentle magic, felt but rarely seen. It was a place of secrets and wonders waiting to be discovered. The animals of Whiskerwood lived together in peace. They helped one another and celebrated their differences. Protecting this harmony were the guardians of the forest, the cats. With their sleek coats and watchful eyes, they were the protectors of Whiskerwood. They ensured the peace was kept and the ancient magic was respected. The cats moved through the forest with a grace that spoke of their ancient lineage. They understood the language of the trees and the secrets held by the stars. They were the keepers of Whiskerwood's heart, ensuring its magic continued to thrive. Amongst the cats lived a young tabby named Miso. With her bright amber eyes and a spirit overflowing with curiosity, she was a whirlwind of energy. Miso loved to explore the hidden paths of Whiskerwood. She would often disappear for hours, returning with her fur dusted with pollen and stories of her adventures tumbling from her mouth. The other cats chuckled at her boundless energy, but they knew Miso had a kind heart. She befriended every creature she met, from the tiniest field mouse to the wisest old owl. Miso believed everyone had a story to tell, and she couldn't bear to miss a single one. One crisp morning, as the sun rose over Whiskerwood, Miso found something extraordinary. She was playing near the old maple tree, its roots spreading like gnarled fingers into the earth. There, nestled amongst the fallen leaves, lay a single feather, shimmering silver blue in the dappled sunlight. Unlike the feathers of the forest birds, this feather seemed to hum with a strange energy. It was long and slender, its tip fading from a deep blue to a shimmering silver. Miso had never seen anything like it. She knew this was no ordinary feather, it was something magical. Carrying the feather carefully in her mouth, Miso raced back to the other cats. They gathered around, their whiskers twitching with curiosity. Elder Whisker, the oldest and wisest of their group, took one look at the feather and his eyes widened. He knew exactly what it was. "This is a sky feather," he purred, his voice filled with awe. "It belongs to the windbirds, mystical creatures who soar above the clouds. They are the keepers of the sky, just as we are the keepers of the forest." He explained that the windbirds were rarely seen, but their magic was vital to the balance of the world. To find a sky feather meant something important was about to happen. Section 6. Miso's journey through Whiskerwood. Elder Whisker knew that the sky feather needed to be returned to its rightful owners. He looked at the assembled cats, his gaze lingering on Miso. "Miso," he said, "your curiosity and kind heart make you the perfect candidate for this task. You must return this sky feather to the windbirds." And so began Miso's adventure. She traveled through Whiskerwood, following the whispers of the wind. She braved the rushing waters of River Ripple, its currents strong and fast. She navigated the dark and mysterious caves of Stonepaw Hollow, her eyes shining bright in the darkness. Finally, she began the ascent to Whiskertop Peak, the highest point in all of Whiskerwood. Section 7. A Helping Paw. Throughout her journey, Miso encountered many challenges, yet she never lost sight of her goal or her kind heart. When she found a family of squirrels whose home had been destroyed in a storm, she helped them rebuild, carrying twigs and leaves in her mouth. When she came across a young rabbit tangled in thorns, she carefully freed him, earning his grateful gaze. Each act of kindness, no matter how small, filled Miso with a sense of purpose. She realized that the true magic of Whiskerwood lay not just in its ancient trees or mystical creatures, but in the kindness shared between its inhabitants. It was a lesson she would carry with her always. Section 8. The Gift of a Wish. Finally, Miso reached the top of Whiskertop Peak. The wind whipped around her, carrying with it a symphony of sounds. And then she saw them, the windbirds. They soared through the air, their feathers catching the light and painting the sky in shimmering hues of blue and silver. Their cries echoed through the mountains, ancient and powerful. As she approached, one of the windbirds gracefully descended, its eyes filled with wisdom. Miso presented the sky feather, her heart filled with a mixture of relief and sadness at the thought of parting with it. The windbird dipped its head in gratitude. "For your kindness," it said, its voice a melodious chime. "We grant you a wish." Miso thought for a moment, her gaze sweeping over the vast expanse of Whiskerwood. "I wish," she said, her voice filled with sincerity, "that every creature in Whiskerwood will always have a friend." The windbirds circled overhead, their cries echoing Miso's wish. Section 9. The Magic of Friendship. As Miso made her way back to the village, she felt a change in Whiskerwood. The forest seemed to hum with a new energy, a warmth that spread through the trees and touched every creature. Animals that had once kept to themselves now mingled freely, sharing food and stories. The air vibrated with a newfound sense of camaraderie. Miso realized that her wish had come true. The magic of Whiskerwood had been strengthened by the bonds of friendship and kindness. From that day forward, the animals of Whiskerwood lived in even greater harmony, their lives intertwined by a magic that extended far beyond the ancient trees and the silver blue feather that now hung in the sky, a constant reminder of Miso's wish.